Men, this law will greatly affect you. Men, this law will greatly affect you. What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching Important Things That Really Matter. Today, we're talking about men. This law will affect you greatly. Men, this law will greatly affect you. Now, what law is that will greatly affect you? The law that will greatly affect you is a law that your grandparents knew about, your great-grandparents knew about, and that law is the law of reaping and sowing. It is written, whatsoever a man or woman soweth, that shall they also reap. It is written, whatsoever a man or woman soweth, that shall they also reap. Now, what does that mean? That means that whatever good that you do to another person, or whatever good that you do to a group of people, that same good will come back to you. It also means that whatever evil that you do to other people, or whatever evil that you do to another person, that evil will also come back to you also. So, knowing that, it's always best to treat people like you want to be treated. Otherwise, you will reap what you sow. And we'll give you some examples on how a lot of people have reaped what they have sown, even to this day. Some people are wondering why things may not necessarily be going well in their life. And many times, things may not necessarily be going well in your life based upon how you have treated other people in the past. If you are a person that keeps up a bunch of confusion, starts a lot of mess, keeps a lot of mess going, then you should not be surprised if you have a lot of confusion in your personal life. Okay, so I'm going to talk today about men. This law will greatly affect you, and it's the law of reaping and sowing. It is written, whatsoever man or woman soweth, that shall they also reap. And right now, what is happening, I just read not too long ago that there was a lot of older men that are in nursing homes. That's right. There are a lot of older men that are in nursing homes, and hardly nobody is coming to see them. Let me say that again. There are a lot of older men that are sitting in nursing homes. Nobody's coming to see them. Their kids are not coming to see them, and nobody else is coming to see them. And many times what you will find out is that many times these men, they may have been out there chasing women, getting women pregnant. Some of these men got numerous kids and never really wanted to spend time with them, or never did spend time with them because they were too busy out there running the street and chasing after women. And so now what has happened is now they're in a nursing home and they need their children to look after them, but the children remember how the father did not spend time with them when they were younger. And so they're unwilling to come and see about them. So one thing that people don't realize is that life happens in a circle and that people reap what they sow. And so what ends up happening is that the child needs the parent to take care of them. And then the parent needs the child to take care of them. So if the parent does not do a good job in raising the children, or does not do a good job in spending time with the kid, when everything turns back around and that parent needs the child to look after them, the child's not going to look after them all that well, because they're going to remember how the parent did not spend much time with them. Okay, you follow what I'm saying? And there are a lot of men who were out here running the street, chasing after women, getting women pregnant, yet may have numerous women pregnant, may have numerous children, and they may have spent little to no time with them. And then when they get old and they get too old to run the street, too old to chase after women anymore, what ends up happening is now they're in need of somebody to come look after them. And because that they did not spend time with their children like they were supposed to, the children don't want to spend time with them. And so we have an unfortunate situation that's going on right now in many of the nursing homes. And the unfortunate incidents that we have right now is that there's a lot of older men that are sitting in nursing homes, and there's nobody coming to see them. None of their children is coming to see them. Nobody else is coming to see them. It's a sad situation. Unfortunately, you see the law of reaping and sowing in operation right now. And so a friend of mine was telling me about this older gentleman that he was stopping by his house to see how he is. And so I asked him, I was like, well, is the man's children seeing about him? She's like, no, his kids don't come see him at all. So I delved and asked him some additional further information about the guy. I said, well, did the guy spend time with his kids? And so the guy said, he told me he really didn't spend time with his kids when he was growing up because he was too busy running the street. So I'm like, that's the reason why they don't come see him. I said, well, how many kids did he have? He sits up and tells me this man had 7 to 8 kids by numerous women. And I'm sitting up here like, he had 7 to 8 kids by numerous women and didn't really spend any time with any of his kids. So is it a wonder why his kids really don't want to spend any time with him? Well, it's because he didn't spend time with them when they were growing up. They wanted to spend time with him. They wanted him to play ball with him. They wanted him to take them different places and spend time with them. But he didn't do it. I know a guy right now. And so right now what's happening is a friend of mine is going by to see about the guy. But the wild thing about it is his kids could see about him. But his priority was not his children when he was growing up. When he was getting older, his priority was not his children. In the children's eyes, he is not their priority. See how it is a circle that takes place? The child needs the parent, then the parent needs the child. Okay, you see the law of reaping and sowing going, as right now. So the man didn't spend time with his kids, and now the kids don't want to spend time with the father. I know a guy right now. This guy hadn't seen some of his kids in years and basically lived in the same city. So the guy lives in the same city. How come this man cannot spend time with his children? Okay, doesn't make no sense. Okay, now the guy is too old to run the street. He's too old. All he can do now is pretty much sit at home or sit in the nursing home. And the guy has the audacity to talk to his children. How come nobody calls me? How come nobody spends time with me? And it's like, what the guy don't understand is that when he was out there running the street, the kids wanted him to spend time with them, but he wasn't available. He didn't make them their priority. And so now the children are not making the father their priority. So one of the things you have to understand, even if you're a young man or so, if you have 1 or 2 kids, you better spend time with your kids like you're supposed to. Because even though you might be 25, 30 years old, if you don't spend time with your kids, you will look up one day, and one day you might be in the hospital, or one day you might be in a nursing home, or one day you might be in a house by yourself, where you may need somebody, one of your children, one or more of your children, not just one or more of your children, all your children to come see you, to see about you, to see after you, to look after you and whatnot, help you. But if you were not there for your children are not going to be there for you. There are many older men right now that are sitting in nursing homes and nobody is coming to see them because they did not prioritize their children. And so what you have to understand, if you want to have a good older life, you better start right now and spending time with your children. You better spend time with your children. You better take them different places. You better play ball with them. You better do whatever you can. You should be allocating time every week for your children. That's if you want them to allocate time for you and look after you when you get old. You have some men that were out there running the street trying to get everybody pregnant, trying to do whatever they can, spreading their seed all over the place. And a lot of times those people, and I am still talking about the law of reaping and sowing, many times those people are having all types of health problems with the same parts of their body that they were out there trying to screw everybody with. I know a guy right now, he's having all types of prostate problems. If he ain't having prostate problems, he's having, and everything is dealing with the private parts that he has. The same private parts that he was out there running the street with, getting women pregnant with, he's now having health problems in those particular areas. So one of the things that you need to take into consideration, and that is extremely, extremely important, is that you need to spend time with your children. You need to spend time with your children, your family. What's extremely important is family. A person does not get to the end of their life and talk about how much more time they should have spent on the job. What usually tends to happen is that when a guy gets to the end of his life, he sits up and regrets all the time that he did not spend with his kids and all the time he did not spend with his family in general. Well, when you old, it's too late. It's too late. The kids now got a life of their own now. Okay? And so if you had spent time with your children like you're supposed to, they would be spending time with you when you get in your older age. And I know there are people out there that's 30 years old. There's people that's 25 years old, think that it's not a priority. It is a priority. Your kids are going to see you, are going to remember if you took them to the circus, or you took them to the movies, or you took them out to eat, or you took them to get some ice cream, or you helped them with their homework. If you didn't do none of those things and you weren't around and your kids didn't see you for years and you pretty much live in the same city, what type of attitude do you think your kids are going to have? And we are still talking about the subject of reaping and sowing. What you do to another person will end up coming right back to you. So always treat a person the way that you want to be treated. If you want people to look after you when you get old and be there for you when you get old, you better make time. You better make time. You better make time for your children while they're young. And they're going to remember all the time that you spent with them. And you're not going to have to ask them to come see you. They're going to automatically come see you because they're going to remember how much of a good time that they had when they grew up with you. So one of the things I like to say is, please, this is extremely, extremely, extremely important video. So would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe? Please like, please share, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell, and peace.